Back to the action here at the Paddy Power Poker Tournament, and we've still 22 fighting it out.
There is indeed, and I can't see anybody moving off the main table at the moment.
My name is Brian Dowling. I'm 59. I'm MD of a tourism company here in Dublin, and I started playing poker when I was about 10-year-old.
Now, this hand here, it's Eileen on the small blind, Roy Brindley on the big blind, and Sean Tobin is first to speak.
There's a raise on the button. Dave Cleary says there's too many people and let's narrow the field. He's made it 100 and he's been called in 3 spots, Liam.
That's right.
This is 4 ways.
Eileen, Sean Tobin and Brian Dowling and Dave Cleary are involved.
Dave Cleary in with the ace queen of clubs. That's a raising hand if I've ever seen one.
It's up to Eileen to speak first. Eileen checks and Sean Tobin has checked. And it's around. Dave Cleary is betting.
It's been checked around to the button. Dave Cleary says he still likes his hand. He's bet 100. Aileen has passed.
And Dave Cleary is called by Sean Tobin. Sean Tobin first to speak.
We're down to 2 players. It's just Sean and Dave Cleary.
And they checked. Now it's up to Sean Tobin on the last.
Boy, Sean Tobin loved that 7 on the river, Liam. He had a pair. It was the best hand. But now with 3 7s on the river, you can be sure that he knows he's got the winner.
Sean Tobin wins the pot.
I'm 40 years of age. I'm an accountant by profession. I got into poker when I was about 26. I haven't played in about 10 years. I went back playing about 3 months ago.
Now, Liam, the game we're playing here is no limit Texas Hold'em, which means players can bet their entire stack at any time.
At any time, that's right. Now it's up to Brian to speak first.
That's why you see them so careful.
Yeah.
We've got a new
and now
hand.
Stephen. Stephen is calling.
It's been called moving around.
Dave Cleary is gone. Eileen is gone.
He's going to raise them. That's a big raise of 200, and that's why, Liam, he's got the bullets. That's the best you can start with before the flop.
Certainly the best before the flop, and he wins.
And Sean is on fire here, Liam.
Sean is certainly on it. He's on a roll. Now it's Roy Brindley who's on the button. Sean Tobin is the small blind, and Brian Dowling is the big blind, and Stevie McLean will be first to speak.
Because of the under-the-table cameras, us at home, we've seen Sean's cards, but no one at the table knows that he had 2 aces and 3 7s. The hands were never exposed.
That's right.
They might think that he was on it.
That's the way I like to win a pot. You don't have to show them.
So Sean Tobin setting the early tone. There's a new hand here.
And it's Stephen McLean to act first.
The bet is 50 off of the big blind. He says no. Michael will wait.
Michael Frisbee calls.
Option, check.
We're 3-way for the flop. Sean first to speak. He's checked, and Liam, he's got an ace-5. That's 2 pair. Michael has made a bet. Sean has just called it. That's the turn card. It's an 8. Liam, I think Sean's setting a trap here. Michael has put a bet in of about 150 units, and Sean with 2 pair. Liam, you have to think he's going to raise here.
I would think so, yeah. And he did.
Poker is a 5-card game. Michael has the top pair, but it's not good enough right now. Sean Tobin stuck in a big raise.
I think it's 2,000.
It's 2,000 back on Michael. He's folded them up like a $2 suitcase. And Liam, that was the right move. He sussed out that he was beaten.
Michael Frisbee had the top pair, an ace in his hand and an ace on the table, and he thought he had the best hand, so he bet. But Sean Tobin flopped 2 pair, ace and a 5 in his hand and an ace and a 5 on the table, which won him the pot.
Sean Tobin winning just about every pot he gets in. There he took a top pair home to victory, and you can see he's got some chips to play with. Those pink chips worth 500 units each. The yellows are 100 and the whites are 25.
That's right.
Each player started with a total of 4,000 in chips, and Sean is up to about 5 if I'm not mistaken.
Brian Dowling on the button.
Dave Cleary first to speak. He says no. We're moving around the table now.
It's up to Roy. Roy calls.
It was a raise to 200 by Roy. It's been called by Stephen in the small blind. We're head up for the 450 unit pot, and the action will be on Stephen McLean. It's 7 high. That's not much of a raiser's flop.
300.
No, Jesse, that could be a very dangerous flop for the raiser.
Roy has made a bet. He's won the pot,
With a pair of queens
and it was 2 ladies.
in contested. That's the second time he's had a pair of queens.
He's won both of those hands, but has not won a lot of chips in the process.
No, but he's surviving. I'd say he's about level in chips at the moment. He's probably one of the few of them that are, apart from Sean Tobin.
Stephen McLean yet to win a pot. He's been in a few, but he's still got a nice stack.
Nickname is the Sting, I suppose. Some of my friends call me the Sting after the film. I've been playing poker since I was born. I think the doctor slapped me and I said, let's play, shuffle up and deal, you know.
This is a tough enough table, you know, for small players. Eileen to speak.
She's flat called the 50. Action around to Sean. He's been in every pot. This is no exception. Eileen, she's got the ladies this time, Liam, and she's just called. She may be trying to set a trap. There's 6 out of 7 players for the action. It is close to a family pot, and Eileen is going to love that flop, won't she, Liam? Because she's got a set 3 queens.
And she's bet. Eileen is bet.
She's bet 500 units. It's more than the size of the pot. That'll start people folding like 10 pins.
Yeah.
It's fold, fold. Stephen McLean says no.
Now it's
and
up to Michael Frisbee.
Just Michael left.
Michael and Dave folded.
And he's made a very good fold, Liam. We didn't. So Eileen with a pretty sturdy pot on the virtue of the 3 queens. That's Dave Cleary with the dealer button.
You can never win a tournament from the off. You can only win a tournament when you get down to the final table. So you take it easy and have a look and see what everybody else is doing and try and get some reads on them, and hopefully you'll meet them at the final table.
Dave Cleary has the advantage of acting last every round in this hand. Sean Tobin has flat called the 50. Moving around the table in a clockwise fashion. Ace-4 of spades. He likes that, Liam.
It does indeed. It's up to Dave Cleary.
Stephen McLean in.
Dave Cleary has passed.
Action around to
Eileen
the
has
small
put in a
blind.
raise.
King 10. Is that optimistic?
Yeah. Stephen McLean calls. It's up to Eileen to speak first.
And she's made the top pair, Liam. Pair of 10s with a king kicker. She's stuck in a bet. That's 600 if it's a dime. And Liam.
That's a good bet.
Eileen has bet about the size of the pot.
Oh, he's 4 of a straight.
Stephen McLean next to act 8-9. Liam 7, 8, 9, 10. That's up and down straight. A 6 or a jack would make him the top hand. We saw him fold a flush draw before, and he's laid it down again.
Yeah.
Liam, Eileen made the price too steep for Stephen to play.
It seems to be quite a male-dominated environment out there today.
Yeah.
There's not too many women playing on the scene. Does that add a little bit of needle to everything?
No, not needle. You play as equals, don't you, when you play cards? You can't say that about many sports.
Stephen McLean yet to make a stand. He's been pushed out of a few pots, but he still has chips. Sean Tobin, who's won just about every pot he's played, Liam, is the early aggressor at this table, along with Eileen in the first seat. We'll be around the table in a clockwise fashion to call the 50-unit bet. Brian Dowling is in the big blind. It's been called by Eileen and raised out of the small blind by Sean Tobin. Brian said no. We're head up for this pot, Liam. It's the 2 chip leaders. It's Sean versus Eileen. That's Sean with the Queen Jack. Liam, he's up and down on the flop. Ace 9 10 on the flop. We're up and down with a straight draw here, and he's made a bet. Sean has, Liam. He's pushed Eileen out. She didn't like her cards, and Liam,
even though she had top pair and ace, but she had a very bad kicker. She'd only got a 6.
that's an example of how the best hand doesn't always win the pot.
Mary, 11 to 10. Irene, 5 to 4 on. That's a poor start from Irene. Paddy Power bookmaker. Let's make things more interesting.